Hey there, coin enthusiasts. What's the deal with that dusty penny you found in your drawer? You know, the one you thought was worth absolutely nothing? Well, guess what? That nothing penny could actually be worth, drum roll please, $1.8 million. Yep, you heard me right, 1.8 million. Now I know what you're thinking. This guy's pulling my leg. But no, friends, I'm serious. Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the 2009 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket right now, waiting to make you a millionaire. Sounds too good to be true? Well, let's see. Alright, let's back up a bit. The 2009 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is not your everyday penny. In fact, it's one of the rarest coins you can find from the year 2009. Most of the pennies minted that year have a mint mark, which indicates where they were produced. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 2009 pennies have no mint mark at all. Now, this isn't just a random oversight. Oh no, my friends. This is actually a mistake that makes these pennies incredibly rare and super valuable. So, why is it worth so much? Well, there's a bit of history behind it. In 2009, the U.S. Mint was celebrating Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, so they decided to redesign the penny. To make it extra special, they introduced 4 different designs throughout the year. But, and here's the kicker, the Denver Mint accidentally left off the mint mark on some of these pennies. Normally, pennies produced in Denver would have a D on them, but these guys didn't. They came out with no mint mark, and collectors went crazy. Now, because this minting error is so rare, it created a huge demand for these particular pennies. In fact, a few lucky collectors have actually sold these 2009 no mint mark pennies for as much as $1.8 million. You heard me right? A penny, as in, the one you could probably find stuck to your shoe, could be worth over $1 million. And just to give you an idea, this isn't just some random auction sale. A 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny was auctioned off for this eye-popping figure because of its extreme rarity and the historical significance. But before you go rummaging through your change jar, let's talk about how to actually identify if you have one of these gems. First off, it's not about just any 2009 penny. It's specifically the 2009 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. You'll want to look closely at the back of the coin, right under the year 2009. If there's no D or S marking, that's for Denver and San Francisco, respectively, then bingo. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Alright, so quick story time. Last year, I was going through some old coins my grandpa left me. Now, I'm not saying I was hoping to find $1 million penny or anything, but I definitely wasn't expecting much. I'm sure many of you have a similar drawer full of old coins, right? You know, the ones you toss in there because, hey, they're just pennies. Well, I was about to drop one of those into the meh pile when something caught my eye. It was a 2009 penny, no mint mark. And for a second I thought, nah, this can't be it. But something told me to check it out, so I did. I pulled out my phone, Googled it, and holy cow, my heart skipped a beat. I had a 2009 no mint mark penny in my hands. While mine wasn't worth millions, sadly, I did get a decent chunk of change for it, and I was hooked. Ever since then, I've been on a quest to find even more hidden treasures in my loose change. And let me tell you, the hunt is half the fun. I need to start checking my change right now. And I get it. You might not find another $1 million penny in your pocket today, but the fun is in the search. Who knows? That next penny could be the one that changes everything. So, if you love the idea of turning old coins into cash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips and strategies to help you spot valuable coins hiding right under your nose. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on these money-making secrets. 1963 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, specifically the ones without a mint mark. We'll be talking about its history, why it's considered rare, and most importantly, how much it's worth today, possibly worth a lot more than you think. So, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more awesome coin-related content like this. Alright, let's get started. First off, let's go over the basics. The 1963 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a standard coin you'll find in circulation. But here's where things get interesting. Every coin minted by the U.S. Mint has a mint mark to indicate where it was made. For most pennies from this time, you'll see a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But here's the twist: the 1963 penny, when it has no mint mark, is a rare find. Now you may be wondering, what does this no mint mark mean? Well, it's likely that this particular penny was minted in Philadelphia, where the U.S. Mint is located. However, for most years, Philadelphia pennies did have a mint mark, but for some reason, in 1963, some of them were released without it. While this may sound like a small detail, it has a huge impact on the coin's rarity and value. To understand why this makes the 1963 penny so special, let's talk about rarity. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is a key factor that can drastically increase the value of a coin. While there are millions of pennies in circulation from 1963, only a small number of these lack the mint mark, and that makes them more valuable to collectors. As we dig deeper into the value of this penny, let's look at the different grades, or conditions, of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the penny. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect condition. A coin in excellent condition will obviously fetch a higher price. If you happen to find a 1963 no mint mark penny in mint condition, or near mint condition, you could be looking at a potential value that exceeds the typical 1963 penny, which is usually worth just 1 cent. So, what's the market value of these rare 1963 no mint mark pennies today? Here's the exciting part. Most 1963 no mint mark pennies in lower grades are still worth more than face value, usually ranging from 50 cents to a few dollars. But the real value comes with the higher grade coins, especially if it's been professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A coin that's graded in fine or extremely fine condition could fetch anywhere from $10 to $100. But wait, here's where things get interesting. If you happen to come across a 1963 no mint mark penny that is in perfect, uncirculated condition, essentially like new, it could be worth significantly more. Coins like these have been known to sell for several $1,000s at auctions. Some collectors have even paid over $10,000 for a 1963 no mint mark penny in flawless condition, but it doesn't stop there. In rare cases, some coins have even been sold for upwards of $50,000 or more, depending on demand, the rarity of the specific penny, and its condition. It's a perfect example of how coin collecting can turn a simple penny into a potential gold mine. If you think you have one of these rare pennies, it's important to get it professionally graded to determine its true value. Grading services like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX can authenticate your coin, assess its condition, and give you an official grade that could dramatically increase its marketability and value. So, before you go selling it, make sure it's in the best possible condition you can get. Remember, the value of these coins can fluctuate based on the market and demand from collectors, so it's always a good idea to do some research or get in touch with a professional to help you make the most of your find. But regardless of where you are in your coin collecting journey, the 1963 no mint mark penny remains one of the more interesting and valuable pieces in any collection. 1969 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This specific coin has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike for its rarity and potential worth. Let's dive into what makes this coin special, how much it could be worth today, and why it has such a high value. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's go! Now, when we talk about the 1969 D Lincoln penny, you might be thinking, it's just another penny, right? But it's far from ordinary. The 1969 D is known for its distinct features, and if you happen to own one, especially in great condition, you could be sitting on a potential gold mine. Let's break down why this coin stands out from the rest, and why it's worth paying attention to. First things first, the 1969 D penny was minted in Denver, and it carries the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. Now, the D mint mark is key here. It signifies that this penny was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the two main mints in the United States. This coin was released into circulation like any other penny, but a few things happen that make it incredibly rare today. One of the primary reasons the 1969 D penny is so special is because of an error that occurred during the minting process. Some 1969 D pennies were struck with a unique feature, a double die obverse. This means that the design on the front of the coin, particularly the words Liberty and In God We Trust, appears to have been struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Now, not every 1969 D penny has this error. In fact, the majority of them don't. But the ones that do have this double die error are incredibly valuable. These pennies are highly sought after by collectors, and that's where the big money comes in. As you can see here, the doubling is evident in the letters on the coin. It's subtle, but if you look closely, you can spot it. The doubled image isn't just a little overlap, it's a noticeable, almost ghostly second impression. If you find one of these, congratulations, you could be holding a piece of history. Now, let's talk about the value. If you've found a 1969 D penny with this double die error, the market value can range dramatically depending on the condition of the coin. A 1969 D penny without the error is worth, at best, just 1 cent, the standard value. However, if you've got a coin with the double die error, we're talking about something entirely different. Some of these coins have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, with the highest quality examples fetching upwards of $100,000 or more. The value of these coins depends on several factors: the severity of the error, the condition of the coin, and how well it has been preserved. For example, a well-preserved, high-quality 1969 D double die penny could be valued anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000. In exceptional cases, particularly rare specimens with perfect or near-perfect conditions, some have been sold for over $100,000. That's right, a single penny could fetch 6 figures in the right market. But here's the kicker, and this is where things get even more intriguing. If your coin happens to be graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC and comes back with a high grade, it could command even more money. A coin graded as MS65 or higher, meaning it's nearly flawless, could be worth significantly more than one with a lower grade. Grading a coin is an important step in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin in the 60s is considered almost perfect, while anything below that is graded based on wear and condition. If you think you've found a 1969 D double die penny, it's worth getting it graded to determine its exact value. Even a coin in lower grades, with some wear, can still fetch a great price, but the higher the grade, the higher the payout. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1969 D penny with this error? First, examine your coin closely. Look for the doubling on the Liberty and In God We Trust areas. If you see it, then congratulations, you may have a valuable coin on your hands. Next, it's a good idea to take it to a professional for confirmation, and then have it graded if you want to know its true worth. Remember, finding one of these coins is extremely rare. Not every 1969 D penny will be valuable, and you want to be cautious about online listings or lowball offers. Make sure you're getting the correct appraisal from a trusted source, and if you're looking to sell, consider selling it through reputable auction houses or dealers who specialize in rare coins. So there you have it, the 1969 D Lincoln penny with the double die error. If you've got one, you might just have a hidden treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. But even if you don't, keep checking your spare change. You never know when you might find the next big one. Let me know in the comments if you've found a rare coin like this or if you've got questions about coin collecting. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on how to turn your coins into cash. 1971 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny and its potential to be worth millions. Yes, you heard that right. This penny could be worth much more than its face value. Stick around, and we'll uncover how this coin, which many people overlook, could be a game changer in the world of coin collecting. Before we get into its incredible potential value, Let's first talk about what makes the 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny so special. So, let's break it down. The U.S. Mint, as you may know, stamps coins with a mint mark to indicate which facility made them. Typically, these mint marks can be found on the reverse side of the coin, near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. However, the 1971 no-mint mark penny is unique because it lacks this mint mark entirely. This error wasn't intentional by the mint but rather a result of some coins being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, during that time, wasn't adding mint marks to coins produced there. Normally, coins made in Philadelphia would have a PE mint mark, but some years, particularly around 1971, certain batches were left without any indication of their origin. Now, before you think this is a minor detail, let me tell you, it's anything but. This simple omission makes these pennies rare and desirable to collectors. In the world of numismatics, that's coin collecting for you non-coin lovers. Rarity is king. And the 1971 no-mint mark penny is a prime example of how a small error can create massive value. You see, the absence of a mint mark on the 1971 penny is considered an error because the mint's usual practice was to always mark the coins. These errors are incredibly rare, and because they were never intentionally produced, they're seen as anomalies. Most of the 1971 pennies circulating today have a mint mark or none at all, but the ones that do not carry any mark are worth much more. When these rare pennies hit the market, they stand out amongst the millions of other 1971 pennies produced that are of far less value. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine going through your pocket change and finding a 1971 penny with no mint mark. While most pennies in circulation are worth just 1 cent, this particular penny could potentially fetch thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even more. So, what exactly is the market value of the 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? Well, the price can vary greatly depending on the condition of the coin and whether it has been professionally graded. Coins are usually graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades representing coins that are in better condition. The better the condition, the more the coin is worth. A 1971 no-mint mark penny that is in circulated condition typically ranges from $5 to $25. However, if you happen to find one that is in uncirculated condition, the value jumps significantly. A high-quality, uncirculated 1971 no-mint mark penny could be worth anywhere from $100 to $1,000 or more. Now, we're starting to talk about real money here. Some collectors have reported purchasing these coins at auction for up to $10,000 or more, especially if the coin has been verified as an error by a certified grading company like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. So, it's clear that the 1971 no-mint mark penny is worth significantly more than its face value. But that's not the most exciting part. Now I know what you're thinking. How could a 1971 penny ever be worth millions of dollars? Well, here's where things get even more interesting. As with all rare and collectible items, the value can skyrocket if the coin is in pristine condition and if there's a high demand for it. The most valuable pennies ever sold were rare errors, and the 1971 no-mint mark penny, if found in exceptional condition, could absolutely be worth millions in the right market. In fact, it's not just the 1971 no-mint mark penny that could fetch a small fortune. There are multiple examples of rare coins, including pennies, that have sold for jaw-dropping prices over the years. For example, the famous 1943 copper penny, which was produced by mistake during World War II, sold for over $1 million. What makes the 1971 no-mint mark penny so valuable is the limited supply combined with the growing interest from collectors. If you can find one in mint condition or if it's graded as a near-perfect specimen, there's potential for a huge payout down the road. Of course, there's no guarantee that your 1971 no-mint mark penny will fetch millions. But if you have one and it's in pristine condition, it might just be worth holding on to, as values tend to increase as the years go by. So you might be wondering, how can I know if my 1971 no-mint mark penny is worth a small fortune? The first step is to carefully examine the coin. Look for signs of wear, as the more worn out the coin is, the less it will be worth. If you're unsure about the coin's condition, you can take it to a professional numismatist or a coin dealer. They can help you determine its grade and give you an estimate of its value. Another important factor is whether or not the coin has been professionally graded. Professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate the coin, determine its grade, and assign it a value. If you're serious about selling or investing in rare coins, getting your penny professionally graded is an important step in the process. This penny, while common in appearance, holds a rare and valuable place in the world of coin collecting. Whether you're looking to hold onto it as a potential investment, or you're just curious about its worth, the 1971 no-mint mark penny is a coin you don't want to overlook. If you happen to stumble upon one in your spare change, make sure to inspect it closely. You might be holding onto a small fortune, and remember, the value of rare coins, especially those with unique errors, can continue to rise over time. So don't be quick to part with them unless you're sure it's the right price. 1976 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? Well, think again. This seemingly ordinary coin could be worth much more than its face value, depending on its condition and rarity. So let's break down exactly what makes the 1976 penny stand out, and what kind of market value it holds today. First, let's talk a little bit about the history of the 1976 penny. Struck at the Denver Mint, the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin was part of a larger series issued to commemorate the United States bicentennial. While the bicentennial quarter and half dollar often take center stage in the collector's world, the 1976 penny is quietly sitting in the background, waiting for its moment to shine. As you can see, the obverse features Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse shows the classic design with the Lincoln Memorial. But it's not just any penny. The 1976 features a mint mark D, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. Mint marks are crucial when evaluating the rarity of a coin, and as we'll see, that D mark can play a big role in determining value. Now you might be wondering, what makes the 1976 penny so special? The truth is, this penny's value lies in its condition and rarity. While millions of these pennies were minted in 1976, the key factor is how well they've been preserved over time. Coins that were handled or circulated regularly tend to be worn down, with visible scratches, discoloration, and other signs of age. However, there's a smaller number of these pennies that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. Let's talk about the market value today. In general, a standard 1976 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent. Yes, that's right, it's worth exactly what it says on the coin. But when we start talking about uncirculated or near-mint examples, the value begins to climb. In fact, a 1976 penny in mint state, without any signs of wear, could fetch anywhere from $5 to $10 in today's market. However, the real goldmine for collectors is in the rare varieties. Some specific 1976 pennies have been discovered with unique errors or characteristics that make them stand out even more. One of the most significant errors to look out for is the 1976 Lincoln penny with a doubled die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, leading to a noticeable doubling of the design. Now I know what you're thinking, can a penny from 1976 really be worth $1 million? While it's unlikely that a regular 1976 Lincoln penny will ever reach that astronomical value, it's important to know that the world of rare coin auctions can sometimes yield surprising results. In fact, some unique error coins, especially those in flawless condition or those with particularly rare features, have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. For example, if you happen to stumble upon a 1976 penny with an extreme error, let's say a major double die or a misstruck coin, it's possible that it could be worth thousands, or even more, depending on its rarity. So while million-dollar sales are typically reserved for older and rarer coins, there's definitely potential for some hefty profits if you've got a particularly rare variety in your hands. So, how do you find these valuable pennies? The first step is to carefully inspect your 1976 pennies. Look for any signs of doubling on the date, the words "In God We Trust," or even on Lincoln's image. Also, Check the reverse of the coin for any additional features or errors that might set it apart from other pennies. In the world of coin collecting, it's often the small details that make the biggest difference. While the 1976 D. Lincoln penny might seem like a simple, everyday coin, some rare versions of it could bring you much more than you'd expect. Whether you're just getting started with collecting or you've been in the game for years, always remember to keep an eye out for those valuable pennies. You never know, you might be holding on to a small fortune. 1981 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny and its current market value, including whether it could fetch $1 million. So, make sure you stick around until the end for all the details. To kick things off, let's take a look at the 1981 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. The penny was minted to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, and has been a significant part of American currency since its inception. The 1981 penny specifically is quite special due to the possibility of it having been minted without a mint mark. As many of you know, U.S. coins typically have a mint mark that tells you where the coin was produced. In the case of the 1981 Lincoln penny, it was supposed to have a mint mark, but some pennies were struck without it, leading to some confusion and excitement among collectors. Now you might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Well, coins that were struck without a mint mark are typically rare, and in the case of the 1981 penny, it's the uncertainty surrounding how many of these no mint mark versions actually exist. This rarity is what makes these coins highly sought after by collectors and numismatists. The absence of the mint mark means that the coin could have been produced in Philadelphia, where no mint mark was typically used at that time, or it could have been an error during the production process, adding to the mystery and intrigue. As for the current market value, it varies depending on the coin's condition. Most of the 1981 no mint mark pennies, in typical circulated condition, are worth anywhere from a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, when these coins are in excellent, uncirculated condition, their value starts to rise. You're looking at potential values ranging from $10 to $20 for those coins in near mint or mint condition. But wait, what about those coins that are in pristine, certified grades? Those coins, graded by professional numismatic organizations, could fetch even higher prices. Some collectors have reported paying upwards of $50 to $100 for an uncirculated, high-quality 1981 no mint mark penny. Alright, let's address the million-dollar question. While the 1981 no mint mark penny is rare and valuable, it is important to understand that, currently, the market value doesn't support a $1 million price tag for this particular coin. Coins like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, which are among the rarest in U.S. history, have sold for millions, but a typical 1981 no mint mark penny isn't quite in that league yet. However, if you have an exceptionally rare specimen with perfect grading, or if the penny turns out to have an even rarer variety, its value could increase dramatically over time. Collectors are always on the lookout for unique coins, and if you have one, there's a chance that it could become even more valuable as the years go by. So, how do you know if your penny is the one that could be worth more than face value? First, you'll want to check the coin for the absence of the mint mark. The mint mark location for most pennies is on the reverse side, just beneath the date. If there's no mint mark, that's the first clue that your coin might be a 1981 no mint mark penny. Next, get your penny graded. Professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can assess the quality and rarity of your coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable it is. A mint state coin could be worth far more than one with a lot of wear and tear. So, there you have it. The 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating coin with potential value, but unless it's in perfect condition and graded highly, it's unlikely to hit the $1 million mark just yet. But don't be discouraged. Even coins that seem small in value can surprise you as the market shifts, so always keep an eye out for that rare find. If you think you might have a valuable 1981 no mint mark penny or any other rare coins, get them graded and see how they fare in the market. 1984 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now you might think, it's just a penny, what's the big deal? But as we explore, you'll see that this coin could potentially be worth more than you ever imagined. Let's start with the basics. The 1984 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is where the D mint mark comes from. The coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the familiar depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been a symbol of American history since its introduction in 1959. But we're not just talking about any 1984 D penny. We're focusing on the rare and valuable ones that could be sitting in your collection right now, or in a box of old pennies you've inherited. You might be wondering, what sets the 1984 D apart from all other pennies? Well, there are a few factors that can make a difference between a typical coin and one that's worth a small fortune. The first thing to keep in mind is the overall condition of the penny. Coins in better condition, particularly those in uncirculated grades or with unique characteristics, can dramatically increase in value. The second factor is rarity. Most 1984 D pennies are not considered rare. However, some have unique attributes, like errors or rare minting issues that could set them apart from the rest. Coins with rare errors can fetch a substantial amount on the market, sometimes in the hundreds, thousands, or even millions. Now, let's talk about potential errors on the 1984 D penny. These are the things you want to keep an eye out for if you're looking to cash in on your collection. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse. This occurs when the design of the coin is struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date or the letters. If you happen to find a 1984 D penny with this error, it could be worth a significant amount more than its face value. Another error that collectors are always on the lookout for is a misstrike. A misstruck coin happens when the die strikes the coin at an angle or with uneven pressure, leading to a design that's off-center or incomplete. These rare misstrikes can be highly valuable, especially if they're well preserved, and there are also filled dies, where the coin's design becomes partially obscured due to a buildup of debris in the minting die. If the Lincoln Memorial is partially missing or there's something unusual about the design, collectors may be willing to pay top dollar for these rare coins. Now that we've covered the types of errors and what makes a 1984 D Lincoln penny valuable, let's talk numbers. As of the most recent market trends, most 1984 D pennies in average circulated condition are only worth their face value, 1 cent. But here's where it gets interesting. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition or that have rare errors can be worth a lot more. For instance, a 1984 D penny with a noticeable double die error or an off-center strike can sometimes sell for hundreds of dollars. There have even been cases where these coins have sold for thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and condition. But hold on, the value doesn't stop there. There are reports of some incredibly rare, high-grade 1984 D pennies that have sold for millions of dollars. This might sound unbelievable, but the truth is, the right penny, with the right error and in the right condition, can reach these astronomical figures at auction. Coins with major defects that were originally missed by mint workers are the ones that can skyrocket in value. With proper documentation, certification, and grading from a professional service like PCGS or NGC, these pennies can fetch millions at the right time. You might be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. So, how do you check if your 1984 D penny is worth more than $1? Here's a quick guide. Examine your penny closely. Does it look worn down from years of circulation? Or is it in mint condition with clear details and no noticeable wear? A coin that's in near-perfect condition is always going to be worth more than one that's been heavily circulated. Look for any signs of errors. Is there doubling on the date or Lincoln's portrait? Is the design off-center? Is the reverse incomplete? These could indicate an error coin, and you'll want to get it professionally graded to determine its value. Professional grading is essential for determining a coin's true value. Grading services like PCGS and NGC will evaluate your coin based on its condition, rarity, and authenticity. A high-grade penny with an error could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Keep an eye on current market trends. Coin values fluctuate based on demand, so it's important to know when to sell. Coins like the 1984 D penny may increase in value over time as demand grows. So, Can a 1984 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny really be worth millions of dollars? The short answer is yes, but it depends on the rarity, condition, and specific characteristics of the coin. If you think you might have a rare 1984 penny in your collection, it's worth checking for errors and getting it professionally graded. Who knows, you could have a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more coin-related content, and share this video with your friends. And remember, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, so keep looking for those hidden treasures. 1985 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Discuss its current market value, and explore just how much it could potentially be worth. This little coin might seem ordinary, but there's much more to it than meets the eye. So, let's get started. First, let's take a quick look at what we're talking about. The 1985 Mint Mark penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's made from copper-plated zinc, which is the standard for modern pennies, and it was minted in Denver, as indicated by the Mint mark you'll find just to the right of Lincoln's shoulder. Now, the 1985 penny isn't a rare coin by itself, with over 7.5 billion coins minted that year. So, in general, most 1985 pennies you come across are not worth much more than their face value. However, the real value comes from certain rare variations and minting errors that can make some of these pennies extraordinarily valuable. Let's break down a few of those key factors that can influence the value of this coin. Sometimes, the coins produced at the mint aren't perfect. In fact, errors during production can make certain coins far more valuable than others. For the 1985 penny, there are a few key minting errors to watch for, like a rare but highly sought-after error. The double die occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date or other elements of the design. A 1985 penny with a double die could fetch thousands of dollars at auction, depending on the severity of the error. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in the design being shifted off-center. A 1985 penny with a significant off-center strike could potentially be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. Sometimes, cracks in the die or small pieces of the die breaking off can create raised bumps or lines on the coin, which are known as cuds or die cracks. These errors can add considerable value to a 1985 penny, especially if they're clear and visible. So, what's the current market value of a regular 1985 penny versus a rare one with minting errors? Well, the standard 1985 penny, without any errors, is worth about 1 cent, just as it's always been. But when it comes to rare error coins, that's when things get interesting. Depending on the rarity and condition of the coin, a 1985 penny with a significant minting error could be worth anywhere from $50 to $2,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right, some of these pennies are worth thousands of dollars. Now you might be wondering, can the 1985 penny really be worth $1 million? Well, while it's unlikely that a regular 1985 penny will ever reach that value, there have been rare coins, with certain types of errors or historical significance, that have broken the $1 million mark. However, these are usually very unique cases, like rare coins with multiple errors, coins that have been exceptionally well preserved, or coins tied to significant historical events. So, while it's a long shot, anything is possible in the world of rare coins. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1985 penny in your pocket change and you want to know if it might be valuable, here are some tips to help you identify and make sure the date and the mint mark are clear and readable. This is the foundation of identifying the coin. Check the coin for any doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other abnormalities. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin will be. Coins in excellent condition, like uncirculated or proof coins, are worth more than worn or damaged ones. If you think you have something special, it's a good idea to have your coin graded by a professional, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Grading can significantly affect the coin's market value. Alright, folks, That's all the info we have for today on the 1985 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. While most of these pennies are worth only a cent, there are definitely a few rare, error coins out there that can fetch a significant amount of money. So, take a closer look at your pocket change, and you might just find something worth a fortune. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more coin tips and tricks, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. 2003 No-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, this coin may look like any other penny in your collection, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. If you've ever wondered whether your coins could be worth more than their face value, this one might just be a game changer. So, let's dive in. First, let's break down what makes the 2003 No-Mint Mark penny so special. The United States Mint typically marks coins with a mint mark to indicate which facility produced them. Normally, a coin from 2003 would have a D or S mint mark, Denver or San Francisco. But the 2003 No-Mint Mark penny? It's an anomaly. It was minted in Philadelphia, but for a brief period, some coins were struck without the usual mint mark. Many people find these pennies, and they assume they are just another standard coin. However, for the right collector, this could be a treasure trove. The key is the rarity of these mint errors, especially the 2003 No-Mint Mark Lincoln pennies. Now, let's talk about the money side of things. What is this coin actually worth? The current market value can fluctuate, but here's the thing. If you find one in mint condition, it could be worth anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s. Some have sold for upwards of $7,000 depending on their condition and the demand from collectors. The real jackpot? A coin in perfect or near perfect condition, graded by professional numismatists, could potentially sell for much higher amounts. In fact, if you're lucky enough to find a 2003 No-Mint Mark penny with high-grade features, you could be looking at a coin worth $1 million. So, how do you know if your 2003 penny is worth more than just its 1-cent value? Look for these key signs. First, check the overall condition of the coin. A well-preserved coin, with minimal wear, is a must. The more crisp the details, the more it will be worth to a collector. Next, check for any other features like doubled dies or errors. Some 2003 pennies might also have additional rare features that can drive the price up even further. If you think you have one of these rare coins, don't just toss it aside. You need to get it properly appraised. I highly recommend you take your 2003 No-Mint Mark penny to a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service to find out just how valuable it is. Professional graders can determine the coin's condition and assign it a grade, such as MS65 or MS67, which will significantly affect its market value. An MS67, for example, could fetch tens of thousands of dollars. And here's the exciting part. If your coin is in pristine condition and there's enough demand, there's potential for it to fetch a price in the millions. Yes, you heard that right, millions of dollars. Rare, unmarked coins from specific years have made headlines by selling for astronomical amounts. It's possible for your penny to follow suit if it's the right type. So, what should you do if you find one of these rare pennies? First, take great care of it. Don't clean it, that can ruin its value. Store it in a protective case, and make sure it stays in excellent condition. Here's a quick recap on how to evaluate your 2003 No-Mint Mark penny. The better the condition, the higher the value. Look for any unusual features or minting errors. Get your coin appraised by a professional. While the 2003 No-Mint Mark penny may not always fetch $1 million, with the right combination of rarity, demand, and condition, you could have a coin that's worth far more than just its 1-cent value. In the world of rare coins, the sky is the limit. Who knows, that old penny you have sitting in a drawer could be the key to your next big payday. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you've ever found any rare coins. And as always, stay curious, and happy hunting for those hidden treasures. 2006 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, this penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but trust me, it holds much more than meets the eye. In today's video, we're diving deep into the potential value and market worth of this seemingly ordinary coin that could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Let's start with the basics. The 2006 penny was issued to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse features a classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases the iconic shield design, introduced in 1959, which symbolizes the strength of the nation. Though the 2006 penny is not considered rare in the traditional sense, certain conditions, minting errors, and other factors can make it significantly more valuable. So, how can you tell if your 2006 penny could be worth more than just its face value? First things first, let's talk about the minting process. Most pennies minted in 2006 were produced in massive quantities, with billions of them being struck. However, here's where things get interesting. If you have a 2006 penny that is in mint condition, particularly one without a mint mark, it could be worth more than just a few cents. Now, the US mint marks are typically located on the reverse side of the coin, below the date. Coins from certain mints, such as those from Philadelphia or Denver, often carry these marks, indicating their place of origin. A penny without a mint mark, often referred to as a no-mint mark coin, could be highly collectible depending on its condition and the collector demand. Next up, condition is key when determining the value of any coin. The 2006 penny, in its standard form, might be worth just 1 cent, or maybe a few cents above face value, if it's in typical circulation condition. But if you happen to find a penny from 2006 that is in uncirculated or mint state, with no signs of wear or damage, you're in for a potential surprise. Coins that are considered to be in mint state, meaning they have never been in circulation, can be worth much more to collectors. For instance, a 2006 penny that's graded as MS65 or higher could fetch anywhere from a couple of dollars to upwards of $10 to $15, depending on the market demand. But that's not all. There's always a catch with collectible coins, and the 2006 penny is no exception. Some 2006 pennies are known to have minting errors or unique variations, which can make them highly valuable to collectors. For example, if you happen to find a 2006 penny with a doubled die, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. Doubling, which occurs when a coin is struck twice, creates a visible duplication of the lettering or design. This kind of error is a rarity, but if you happen to find one in your collection, especially in uncirculated condition, you might just have a piece worth thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about the market. In the world of numismatics, demand plays a huge role in determining value. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare or unique specimens, and the 2006 penny, despite being widely circulated, can still see a rise in demand depending on the specific features of the coin. Depending on the condition, rarity, and any errors or variations, a 2006 penny can range in price from a few cents to several $100s. In some cases, a perfect uncirculated 2006 penny with a notable error could even fetch a price closer to the $1,000 range. So, can a 2006 penny be worth $1 million? Well, it's highly unlikely. Most coins in circulation, even rare ones, don't approach the $1 million mark. But if you're lucky enough to have a unique 2006 penny with a significant error or special feature, it could certainly be worth a few $1,000s, and maybe more if the market is hot. At the end of the day, the value of a 2006 Abraham Lincoln penny depends on several factors: its condition, any potential minting errors, and of course, the demand among collectors. While most 2006 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there's a chance that yours could be much more valuable than you think. Make sure to check your coin jars, collections, and pocket change, because you never know when you might stumble upon a valuable treasure. And as always, if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos on coin collecting and rare finds. 1967 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin that might just be hiding in your collection, worth far more than its face value. Stick around to find out how this unassuming penny could fetch you a pretty penny, possibly even $1 million. Let's get started. Let's first break down the basics. The 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny is a regular copper penny that was minted in large numbers. You'll notice the classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. That's the front side of the coin, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. That's the back. Nothing too special here, right? Well, there's a little twist, especially when we start talking about the no-mint mark version of this coin. Let's dig into that. Most coins from this era, including the 1967 penny, were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins have a mint mark to show where they were made. If you've ever looked at a penny, you'll probably notice a tiny letter right below the date, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. But what if there's no mint mark? That's what we're talking about today, the 1967 penny with no mint mark, often referred to as a Philadelphia coin. Now here's where things start to get interesting. While most 1967 pennies with a mint mark are worth just 1 cent, the 1967 penny with no mint mark can have significant value, if it's in the right condition. These coins were made in the millions, but the real value lies in the condition of the coin and whether it's rare enough to stand out. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1967 penny with no mint mark could be worth several $100s to the right buyer. But that's just scratching the surface. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for. Can this penny be worth millions? While it's not common, there are cases where rare, uncirculated pennies from this era have sold for hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. You're probably thinking, what makes it worth so much? The key factors are rarity, condition, and demand. For example, if you have a pristine 1967 penny with no mint mark that grades at an exceptional level, like a MS-67 or higher, you could see offers in the six-figure range. Coins that are in excellent condition, meaning they've hardly been touched or circulated, are in demand among collectors. It's all about those small details. A coin with no visible wear, sharp details on the design, and a beautiful finish can be graded highly, which makes it far more valuable than one that's been passed around in someone's pocket for years. So, how do you know if you have one of these high-value pennies? First, check the mint mark or lack thereof. Next, inspect the coin closely. Is it in pristine condition, or does it show signs of wear? A simple rule of thumb is, the less damage, the better. If you suspect you might have something special, it's worth sending the coin to a professional grader for an official assessment. Let's take a look at some real-world examples. There have been cases where 1967 pennies with no mint mark have fetched over $100,000 at auction. In extreme cases, when paired with the right buyer and grading, there have been reports of pennies like these crossing the $1 million mark. Can you imagine holding a coin worth more than a house or even a car? That's the kind of potential we're talking about here. So, can your 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark be worth $1 million? The short answer is maybe. But it all depends on factors like condition, rarity, and the right collector willing to pay top dollar for it. If you've got a stash of old coins lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Who knows, that simple penny could be your ticket to big money.